ready for the timer? Timer is ready. Okay, go ahead. All right, so about half of you, third of you were here last time, and those of you will start to get the idea that, like, I really am interested in electronic publishing in tablets, because that's what I'm going to talk about this time. So the thing that's just been bugging me lately is that the electronic publications you can get today are awful. They are the exact version of some print publication turned into, like, put on an iPad or on Kindle. And a lot of people in the world are like, why would you do that? Like this is a whole new format, a whole new venue. Like it's not subject to those restrictions. Why are you keeping those? And to list some things that I think that the electronic books of the future, like what they'll feature. I think especially for nonfiction, the linear stack of pages format is probably likely to go away. It'll be much more nonlinear. They will be, instead of just collections of pages and writing and maybe some pictures, they'll be much more like a bundle of multimedia. They'll probably include text and audio and in many cases video or interactive content. The notion today that you publish something and it's on paper and you're stuck with it, that'll go away. Like these will be living documents, and many of them will have community aspects. Now, why are the publishers of today not doing this? Because they have a deep investment in the technology of paper and print, and they are not interested in creating something better that is going to make the business that makes the most of their money obsolete. And they are also not software companies and do not have a core competency in creating software or creating amazing user experiences. So this creates an opportunity for a disruptive entity. Let me give some examples before I get into the disruptive entity of like what those new ebooks might look like. Like my favorite vision is you've got like these rock star business gurus like Malcolm Gladwell, and every time they release a book, it's a huge event and like lots of marketing. I think in the future these guys are going to produce electronic offerings that have nonlinear collections of essays instead of just like trying to take their ideas, which often don't lend themselves to a stack of pages and are kind of forced into that format. It will be much more natural. The audiobook may be bundled with it. They may include videos of the author interviewing people or talking about their ideas or content that goes with that, that kind of thing. And another example might be like, I don't know if any of you are like Star Trek geeks, but in addition to the TV shows, there's all these novels, these tie-in novels. In the future, like they may come with like little video clips of like the best part of the book. They'll have filmed it for you so you can actually see it, or information on the background so that you can look up, like if you're a nerd and you want to translate something from Klingon, like it'll have the Klingon dictionary in there, that kind of thing. So there's an opportunity for a disruptive upstart to create these experiences before the traditional publishers are going to do it. And that's the first part of my idea, but I'm going to keep going a little bit here. So there's a problem. This stuff is really expensive to create, especially if you use video. So it's a lot of effort, you need a lot of money. And if you're an upstart with no money, like, what do you do? So what I've been focusing on are what's the low-hanging fruit? What can a team of like 2 or 3 people actually create to publish like something that sort of shows the potential of this and cracks open the market so that they may attract more higher dollar business or investment so that they can get some bigger fish. And the idea I basically came up with is, it's very similar to what I talked about last time, but we'll call it kind of premier bloggers. But basically you're looking for individuals who have an audience, like they don't need like someone to go market them and find their audience for them. They've already got their audience. That audience has a high level of tablet penetration. They don't want to wait for the traditional publishing industry. Like Eric Ries is coming out with a book, coming out in a year. And like if you know anything about Eric Ries and Lean Startup, that's like crazy. Like everything that'll come out in a year will be obsolete. And so you want people that doesn't work for them, and maybe they want to keep more money than the traditional publishing industry would let them. And maybe they don't want to like maybe they don't want to like put something in stone. Maybe they want it to be a living document. And of course they have to be an innovator that is interested in creating something that's a little different than a traditional thing. And I think that there's thousands of people like that. They're called bloggers. They're called professional speakers. And that's it. So have at it.
What's the idea?
The idea is to create a publisher that markets, yeah, good point, that markets specifically to those kind of individuals, and says, hey, do you want to create a new kind of ebook, keep more money than you would if you worked with a traditional publisher or work with us.
What's that company? Blanking out on it. There's a guy. This is going to be a terrible comment, but there was a guy who was like kind of loosely affiliated with Google, who started this publishing company. It was basically for bloggers to help them monetize the traffic they had. I'm totally blanking on the name of the company or the guy, which isn't very helpful for you, but like, take my word for it. There was this guy. He started this company. I think he actually might have even sold it. Again, this is nobody knows what this is. I'm gonna have to Google this because I don't even remember what it is. But it was like something media publishing, and the whole idea of it was like to help bloggers that had an audience monetize it. Would this kind of tie in with that, or is it more like the technology play you're looking at?
It's more of a technology play. I think it has a market overlap that like this is for people that like have an audience. They're like, if I could write a book, I could sell to this audience, but like dealing with publishers and writing a book and printing stuff up, that's awful. And there's a lot of people now that are creating ebooks in like the EPUB format, and I'm basically saying, hey, like the EPUB format is like just the tip of the iceberg of what you can do here. Let's give you something better.
So you're saying that should be more interactive, have more kind of like other stuff with it?
Or I think that there's an opportunity to have, like maybe some books, maybe they don't want more interactivity, but I think, for instance, some bloggers maybe, or like someone writing a new kind of book, let's call it a new book, may be more interested in having like something that is non-linear that you can explore, like based on what your needs are.
When you say non-linear, can you kind of like give us an example?
So a traditional book, you've got chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Right.
This is more like the web.
Okay. So you need like Wikipedia.
Like you read the introduction and you're like, well, I want this shit. Like what I'm really interested in is the like how to groom my ferret. Like this is a book on grooming, and there's all these different animals, and I just want to get to the ferret chapter. And okay, if you're
so like it's searchable and
right.
Okay.
And it's searchable, and it's like maybe there's like a sidebar in the rabbit chapter that is really applicable to the ferret chapter, and you just put it in the ferret chapter.
Or maybe it is a link. For example, this is a ferry, and you can click on it, and the link bring you to another page.
Yeah,
like describing what fairy is or character or
right. And what I'm describing is not like it's unheard of. It's the web. It's just that like the web currently exists on devices that are hard to read.
You've seen that company Vook, right?
Vook.
VOOK. I think it's Vook.com. So basically what they do, and I used to have an iPad and had like there's a Vook app. And you can download all these different books. So like Gary Vaynerchuk has one, not Gladwell, but what's his name? Old guy writes a gazillion books. No, not blank. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Anyway, so him. Okay, I can't remember anything today. Too much work for all this stuff. So he has a book, and basically what it is, it blends text with video and also like photos and stuff like that. So it's like more of an interactive format. It's only something you could do on the iPad. Obviously, you can't do video in a paperback. What is it?
Ken Burns.
He's the photographer, right?
It's a documentary.
Okay, so no, it's kind of like this whole it's this different format, and the whole format is called the Vook. I think it's Vook.com. You can find this.
I'm by no means making the case that like no one else has thought of this.
Oh, sure.
Lots of people have thought of this. It's just that like I think there's an opportunity to get in now.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean, they're the only company I know of in the space, but they're like, one company in the space that could be this wide, right? And they're like this big.
Right.
So, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like, you're not sitting here going like, it's that cool. Like, there's a lot of room for improvement on it.
But yeah, that's similar.
Okay.
It's, like they're thinking the same thoughts as I am.
So are you going like on the more of a way of like, it would be almost like a choose your own adventure where you can like click on different stuff and go in different directions?
That would be an application. You can do it, but that's not the only way to do it.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Cool. Thank you, Jeff. Awesome. Thank you.